Hello and welcome to the No More Trauma uh, podcast. I got tongue-tied already. I'm your host, Tanya. I am trauma-informed clinical yoga therapist, instructor, and wellness facilitator. And I want to invite you back and happy October. We're here already. This year has gone by incredibly fast. So, with the No More Trauma newsletter, the space is for healing, it's for empowerment, it's for trauma recovery. And boy, am I glad you're here. So, each month we explore trauma informed practices, and I offer up tools to help you reconnect with your body, with your breath, with your truth. Whether you're just beginning your healing journey or deep in the work, this newsletter is a gentle reminder. You're not alone and you're not defined by what has happened. And so I also like to share for this month of October, it's really about the season of releasing, letting go, whether it be old identities and just grounding into safety and reclaiming your personal power. So I am just, I always feel that October has provided me the season, letting go. I feel like there's been this pattern where I've physically let some things go or I've physically made some changes to my appearance. It's just the season of change. October is also the month where I relocated to the state of Arizona a few years ago. And um, prior to the prior to the pandemic. And it was just a very just awakening time for myself. That's where I really got to deepen my practice of yoga. October is just, it holds like this weird special place in my heart. um, yeah, it's just the month of transition. And so I'm curious to know, how has your October been, right? We've gone through our first week into this month. Do you have any rituals or practices around this time of year? Is there something that you typically celebrate, or do you spend time decluttering? Do you treat, the season like you treat springtime? Um, I actually tried something new for the very first time. I actually went on my first camping trip. Oh my goodness. It was incredible. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I am a glamper now. And it was just so amazing to just be immersed in nature and to be amongst the trees and the natural sounds of earth and nature itself, and to be amongst, other fellow campers and to hear their stories. Um, so yeah, it's been a lovely time easing into the season. I know we also have the Aries full moon. So I'm curious if anything has come up for any of you that are listening. But let's dive into the newsletter. He's saying, Tanya, okay, let's stay on track here. Okay, let's do that. So as I mentioned, it's this time of, healing movement, whether you're moving physically, whether it's asana on the yoga mat or Pilates if you're working on that core, or maybe, life is moving you, whether it be in your career or it's, releasing some old patterns, old narratives, right? So it's about mindfulness and renewal, right? Renewing connections, whatever that looks like or mean to you, or renewing old hobbies that you once put down. Ooh. So October just invites us to slow down, to reflect, to gather. what nourishes us. As the leaves turn and the air cools, it's a beautiful time to really just explore how yoga therapy, yoga, and Pilates can support trauma recovery and personal growth. So let's talk about this yoga therapy thing. So, grounding through change, right? So, what's happening when I'm working with clients? Just as the nature sheds what no longer serves, yoga therapy just helps us release tension and emotional residue. Something I do quite a bit when I'm working with clients. They're, whether it's tense in the shoulders, tense in the hips, even tense in the jaw, right? If we happen to just grind our teeth that night, then I'm, working with clients, whether it's breath work or throat chakra mantras. This is something that I like to introduce, right? So really what we're doing, if I'm working with some clients and we have some wiggle room, I like to offer time to really focus on grounding techniques. And this is what's going to really help us create better stability and some inner calm, right? So I also like to say this is a time when, therapy sessions can, probably increase their caseload, right? Because sometimes the fall season can offer up some, emotional instability. And so using yoga therapy techniques like grounding techniques can really support that. So root chakra, we're doing some root chakra work to help us really feel anchored and grounded. Maybe even working with some affirmations, restorative poses with blankets and bolsters. I led a yin yoga class last night, men's yin yoga class last night. It was absolutely perfect and just incredible. And I offered blankets and bolsters, right? This is a time when we can feel really supported. Sometimes it's hard to feel supported by the earth, but when we introduce those bolsters and blankets, it kind of helps release that tension. Guided meditations on letting go. Ooh, I just released a new meditation for letting go. And I'm super excited. I will link that below. And if you're reading this newsletter, then you'll see that the link is included to go directly to that meditation. So again, it's all about grounding through the month because sometimes October can bring definitely some change, right? Or we were just, voluntary or involuntary. And so when it's involuntary, we really want to anchor down and feel, safe, right? So let's talk about the yoga, more about that. Say more, please. So October's rhythm is slower, softer, and your yoga practice can mirror that. Oh, yes, it can. So embrace those cozy flows, right? The candlelit sessions, sequences that honor the body's need for warmth and restoration. Really, 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 really big on this. So restorative poses, yin yoga, all of these practices, both of these practices can be very, very calming, right? Especially if you struggle with any sort of sleep disturbances. Outdoor yoga among the falling leaves. Hey, I actually led a lovely, oh my goodness, lovely campfire meditation. Just incredible, absolutely incredible. So, yeah, I would do that 1,000 times over. And your sun and moon salutations. So these are going to be really great to incorporate. I invite you to, yeah, to hop on your mat. Hello. And my bias could be. So these practices are really gonna be really nourishing during this time. So let's talk about now the other practices that we can include, like Pilates. This is a strength part for the season. So, as we know, Pilates builds core, or, actually, we may not know. Maybe it's your first time tuning into my podcast, and, tuning into the newsletter. So, Pilates builds core strength and its resilience. So, it's perfect for navigating this season of transition, right? So, maybe we are moving into a new home, or we've gotten a new job, or we've gotten, some unsettling news. And so we're needing to ground and incorporate a little bit of strength. Well, I like to say that when incorporating Pilates, I always like to focus on the exercise, right? Um, Teaching this past month, I've just seen it's I think I wouldn't say that it's disappointing. I think that sometimes we get, so I like to call it the TikTok expectations. TikTok expectations. I want to sweat. I want to work it out. I want to be exhausted. And no, I'm sorry, but that's not exactly Pilates. It's not meant to kick your butt. It's not meant to make you exhausted, right? It's about the focus. Can you focus on the core? Can you focus on what your body is doing? Can you focus on the movement itself? I really like to call Pilates a movement practice instead of an exercise, because my goodness, the brain does so many things and tells it the opposite. Well, anywho, it's supporting the posture, it's supporting the breath and emotional steadiness, right? So it's breath-led movement to energize those chilly mornings. Core work to support seasonal immunity. I had a conversation with one of the students in class, and um, you know, the response was, again, a TikTok expectation. And I said, well, sometimes your results aren't going to be physical, right? Like you're not going to always see the result. Like, you want those incredibly toned legs or whatever these, again, expectations are. And I said, it's okay if you don't physically see the results, but it may be working on the inside, right? Maybe your digestion is better. Maybe your sleep cycle is better, right? And so I think, we also have to give credit to our full wholeness and not those superficial ideologies of what our body should be looking or feeling like, right? So, anywho, you know what it reminds me of? Oh my goodness, you're gonna say, Tanya, please, let's get to the end. This is our cozy chat, okay? Um, it reminds me of I think social media. I have this thing now with social media. It reminds me of kind of like when I would always reach for the magazines, and I would like flip the pages and have all these like daydreams of what things should look like and be, and expectations. But I don't know, maybe when you mature, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, I don't know. I believe as you grow, you start to realize the importance of just moving all together. Shout out to all of my 55 and up chair yoga participants. I think what I just come to realize is, the importance of moving our body. All right, anywho, enough of that rant. Let's come back. So, trauma recovery, safe spaces, and soft edges. Ooh, say more things like that. Autumn can stir memories and emotions. Trauma-informed movement offers a safe container to explore, express, and heal. Let your practice be your sanctuary. Healing highlights. It's about emphasizing choice and agency in every session, right? So every session you have a choice. If you're going into your personal studio, your local studio that you go to, or you've met me on the mat, I always disclaim that your body, your mat, right? Your body, your yoga mat, or Pilates mat, whatever you want to call it. So use warm lighting, um, soft music, all of these things can create comfort. You can also do no music, right? If it's too stimulating or activating. Also, journaling, that's always going to be something that helps build your self-awareness. You can write down anything that comes up as you're moving, right? As you're moving on your mat or as you're moving through your day. Come back to the journal. So let's continue with some of these rituals, these practices that helps keep us maintained, right? Our practices maintained, our regulation, our nervous system practices. This is a season of cozy blankets, warm drinks. Ooh, anyone drinking apple cider? And introspection. Take a look within. Create rituals that celebrate your growth and honor your needs. Sip some spiced herbal tea after practice. I believe believe it's the name Rishi. They have a Marsala chai tea concentrate, and you can add your you know, your favorite creamers if that's your thing, or cold foams if that's your thing. Oh my goodness, I stopped into health food store and they had it nice and warm right on the table. And I was like, yes, please. So really good one there. I'll do my best to link it in this newsletter here. Keep a gratitude journal by your bedside. Try to do that, right? So if you're moving through some tough emotions, then use that journal. I actually, first of all, I got the best sleep while camping. I got the best sleep. And the next day I used my journal and just kind of was so grateful for the birds and the owls and all the deer and everything out in the woods, crickets and frogs. And let's see, take mindful walks through the crunchy leaves. I used to pick up the leaves and like trace them with my crayons, or I would take a paper and place it on top of the leaf and like place a crayon on top, and it would like a crayon on top and kind of like scribble, and it would bring out the imprint. I always thought that was pretty cool. All right, all right. So you want to know what we're doing for this month. Well, let's just start by saying the No More Trauma Yoga Therapy Clinic is open. I am taking new clients. Yes, I'm taking new clients, and I would love to have you join me in a session. So feel free to visit www.nomoretraumayoga.com to book your yoga therapy appointment with me. Um, I have available Tuesdays. So this month we're doing Tuesdays, Fridays, a Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. That schedule will change next month. So um, just be well, I can't say to be mindful about that. I'll just let you know. So just stay up to date with the newsletter and you'll see the new hours. I believe the only thing that may change are the Saturdays. So and I know, sometimes these sessions, most people may require a Saturday. So just wanted to share that. Mondays at Sky Yoga Coffee. Speaking of warm sips and spices, join me in Sky Yoga Coffee on Mondays where I teach our Sky Flow and Sky Yen in the PM hours. So really good, especially if you had a long day with work or you're navigating burnout, after a rough Monday. So let's see. What else are we doing this month? Stay in contact in terms of like my Pilates offerings where you can find me. Um, so Core Serenity, Core and Soul. You can find me throughout the week in the mornings. And so Is there anything else? I think that's it for this month. Yeah, that's about it for this month. I'm just trying to jog my memory here. Yeah, so that's where you can find me. Starting to slowly accept new podcast guests. So if you would like to be a guest on the show, I'll have a form link there. And yeah, new meditation will be posted. And I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to another podcast episode. How did you enjoy the last episode with what is it, Luigi? Luigi, we talked about like spinal health and spinal stenosis. So feel free to listen to that podcast episode if you haven't listened. And I believe this month, the World Mental Health Month. So I'll see what I'll be doing for that. I'll probably introduce another guided meditation. So we'll see. Other than that, stay in touch and subscribe to my newsletter if you haven't already over on Substack. And I'm at No More Trauma. You can always email me if you have questions at az.nomoretrauma at gmail.com. And just visit my website at www.nomoretraumayoga.com. Oh, so good speaking with you. And thank you for tuning in and listening. I look forward to seeing you back on the podcast. Other than that, take care of yourself, and I'll see you soon. Remember to live abundantly, love your authenticity, and radiate organic happiness. But most importantly, live a life of no more trauma. Be well. Namaste.